Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's yet another day of Alienware Cup action, but today, Blitz, things get very interesting. We now move into Group B. It's the group you've all been waiting for. We're going to talk a lot about this group, but before I let you speak, Blitz, we do have a recap video for Day 3 of Group A. We wrapped things up yesterday in style. Let's take a quick look at the highlights and see how we got here.
Dire's bot tower is under attack.
Killing spree. Dominating. Double kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Killing spree. Warriors of the world. Dominating. Double kill.
The battle begins.
First blood. Loss so small. Night falls.
The wind dies.
Death.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Triple kill.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Especially if he has his ultimate up. Mid lane, they'll go in now. Here comes the initiation. They burrow through. They only catch FCFC. The wall is deployed, but nobody caught it just yet. It's kind of zoning everyone away, but no commitment. Pycat's doing a lot of damage. He lurches forward. Can he actually live through this amount of burst? There's no Laguna Blade. Burrow catches too. Misery turning this fight around. Still alive as Pycat at long last. They bring him down. And now they look to back off. Immediate buyback from Pycat. Wants to rejoin the fight. Does he come back with the fill and damage? He does not. Now Misery burrows through again. A two-hail burrow. Pycat's going to find his way to a triple kill. Manages to put a few more notches on his belt, and the chase underway. Misery heading north. They have managed to dust up Contrast player, and he should be falling soon. The burrow through. The TPM from Brax, and they'll find yet another kill.
Especially considering the starting gun.
He got tri-lanes. He gave up first blood. And yet all of a sudden, sure, even with the death, he slips down a bit in the net worth, but still doing a lot. FCFC jumps in, coils up Pycat. Pycat, well, he'll drop here to the familiars. Them familiars. No, swapped away! He could have got him with the last round of auto attack, but went for the second stun instead. And as a result, the swap will keep Pycat fresh and safe, and he'll get out. What a final day of games we had for Group A. LGD International, I think, really the standout team there.
Yeah, they played really well. That Ursa strategy that they were able to execute, that was so neat. I've never really seen anything like that before.
Yeah, creative picks, fantastic individual play from a lot of their players. I think the standout from those is, of course, God Kill Them All, or G. He has really been playing well. But the whole team rallied together. They went 4-0. Unfortunately, they finished 4-4. So with that being said, it now is time to move on to Group B, the group that everybody is waiting for. So without any further ado, let's take a look at our group standings. Let's see the teams that will be competing in Group B over the next 3 days. The standings coming up now. It's going to be Neolution Orange or RNG Sports, Na'Vi, Tongfu, IG, and Zenith. That is a stacked group.
Yeah, especially if IG can perform like they did before. I mean, they've had a bit of a rough patch, but you can't really count out a team like IG, can you?
Yeah, you look at this group, and I mean, in terms of the amount of talent each of these teams have, it might be the 5 most talented teams in Dota. Certainly up there. Maybe you put a team like Alliance in the conversation, but some of these teams not really performing well as of late. IG and Zenith have struggled in recent matches. I believe Zenith did take the Gosu Cup, but the only team they beat there of major note was Rising Stars. Not really considered a top tier team. So for Group B, any predictions, any things you're particularly looking forward towards? Dark horses? What are your thoughts on this group, Blitz?
I think Na'Vi can definitely do well. I don't know how well their style will kind of translate to the Eastern scene yet, but I also think Orange will do quite well for themselves. And Zenith is my dark horse for just like completely winning the group. Whenever I see them play.
You know, I look at this group, and Zenith to me is, they're capable of having those fantastic performances, especially online, but they have come out very flat lately. So you're expecting a resurgence from them, because here's the level they've been playing at recently. This is where you're saying they're going to be.
Dude, that's a group that they can take, I think. They play with a lot of flair. I think the individual talent is there, and it's one of those things where you don't really know where things are going to go, especially with the way that Group A went, right? You can't, one person's on top at one given day, and just because the skill level is so high, anyone can look good on any other day.
For me, I'm going to go with the teams that have been performing the best. I see this as a fight between Tongfu and Orange to take first place, maybe Na'Vi as well. Those are sort of the 3 teams that I look at this group and say, these are the teams that are producing results as of late. IG and Zenith certainly have the skill, the potential to take the group, but have not been performing well, at least in my book. So we'll have a little friendly disagreement here and maybe wager some money on it. We'll wager some frappuccinos on it.
Did everyone just saw that? You just hit me. You're my employer. You can't do stuff like that.
Am I your employer?
I guess you aren't, huh?
Okay. I think it's more of a contractor relationship, but that's neither here nor there. We won't discuss the IRS anymore, Blitz. They're coming. They're coming to your house, though.
If I was famous like EGM, you couldn't get away with that.
You need a bodyguard. All right, so Group B, well, we've talked a little bit about just how we see the group unfolding. Obviously, whatever we predict probably will be the opposite, because these teams have been surprising us as of late. But let's take a look at our schedule for today, see what matches we have coming up for Group B. It's going to be 3 best-of-2s today. The first one coming up not right now, but in the next 5-10 minutes, will be Orange versus Zenith. That's going to be an all Southeast Asian smackdown. This is where you may see some very aggressive individual plays and flair from these teams.
Yeah, both of these teams really talented individually. Sometimes you kind of see them make plays that you're like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
And what was that item choice? But exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, we may see that E-Blade Dagon 5 from XY's Tinker. Of course, Mushi snowballing on any hero in the game. It's always possible. We'll then take a 4-hour break, the reason being that DPM wants to make the tournament as fair as possible. Or excuse me, a 2-hour break, but it'll be 4 hours from the start of this next match until the start of the next one. So this should be about 2 hours. Then we take a 2-hour break. Thank you for correcting me, Blitz. And then we'll come back with Tongfu versus Orange. The reason for the break is that DPM, the organizer, wants to be fair to the teams, wants to make sure that Orange isn't forced to play 2 matches back-to-back. They have a chance to relax and prepare the same as Tongfu. After that, our final match of the evening will be Zenith versus IG. So looking at these 3 matches, any sort of preliminary thoughts or anything you're looking forward to here?
I'm really looking forward to seeing IG and Zenith. Both teams have been underperforming as of late, and I want to see which one is going to rein it in and say, okay, well, we're not out of this just yet.
Yeah, these are 2 of the more explosive teams in Asia. When IG's on their game, they're actually one of the few Chinese teams that's very, very aggressive. I mean, they're not afraid to dive your towers at sort of the 8-10 minute mark. They're not afraid to go aggressive tri-lane. Hasn't been working for them lately, but maybe it will today. So with that being said, guys, that's the schedule for today. It's time to preview our first match. It's going to be Orange versus Zenith. We'll start with RNG Sports. They are, of course, in the Final Four for the Dota 2 Super League. They finished 3rd at the G1 League. They have been on a tear lately, not winning events, but always going deep into them, and we expect we'll see the same for them here. The one position requires no introduction. He's the M-God. He's Mushi.
Yeah, such a solid player, and he's kind of the boomer bust, but mainly like boom. He actually does quite well for himself.
He's always boom in the laning stage. It's only mid-game or late game where sometimes he's a bit of a bust. And then that's where 2009 is flaming him on the Chinese stream. Ohio, the 2-position player. We'll move along quickly now as game 1 appears to be loading in. Of course, he's known for he's been playing a little bit of off-lane and tri-lane. KYXY, he's been playing the carry role lately. So we may need to update these positions after this broadcast. But yeah, we'll see KYXY probably on the carry role. Often goes safe lane, solo, gyro, lone druid, things like that. Extinct, your jungle player, your 4-position. One of the playmakers for this team. And last but not least, it is Net. Net has been a player lately.
Yeah, he actually did quite well for himself the games I saw, and he gets so little farm, considering.
Yeah, you mentioned how Misery gets a lot of farm on LGD and almost a 3.5. Net is like a 5.5 because Extinct gets a lot of farm for a support player. Net gets almost nothing. And for this team, well, we look at the hexagon there. A well-rounded team. Individual skill is their strong suit. Sometimes the late-game decision-making, tiny bit more questionable. Still a very solid contender. Could go very deep in the Alienware Cup. Their opponents will be Team Zenith. We have Yamate playing the one role. I have not cast this team in a long time, so I don't know if they've changed roles. But of course, Yamate, formerly of RNG Sports. Mushi's 2Fing pro, so he's left Orange. He's moved to taking his talents to Zenith. XY. He plays a lot of Tinker. If you actually look up his stats on datdota.com, it's like 72 Tinker games or something insane like that, I believe. And then we have Ice, your off-lane player, your 3-position, quite a character.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that his personality shines, but he's also really skilled and he backs up all the talk.
And last but not least, well, we'll have X Freedom, the 4-position. When he stood in for other teams, he's played a 3, a 2, even a 1 at times, but for Zenith, he is that 4-position. I think mostly known for his jungle play. And last but not least, it'll be Ice, the other Ice on this team. They actually have 4 Ices between Ice, and Ice, and he's their 5-position player. For Zenith, experience definitely their strong suit. These players have been around for a very long time. Individual skill is there, but they're an aggressive team. They're a cocky team. There's a lot of swagger, but that also comes with overextensions, sometimes questionable decision-making.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that you really never know what you're going to get out of them. They're super talented. They're super brash. I really like the way they play. It's an aggressive style. And what I'm looking forward to most is whether or not that they can carry this over. They're playing against a team that is also similarly individually skilled in Zenith, or in Orange. So I want to see who kind of comes out on top in terms of who's the best in the Southeast Asian region, especially with some player swaps happening. And Yamata, he's actually been my favorite player for quite some time. Anyways, that's the analysis, guys. We're going to hand it over to the casting panel.
Why,
hey
hello
guys.
there.
Hey, how's it doing? How'd you get over here?
I don't know. I'm very quick on my feet, Kevin.
That must be it. Okay.
Well, without any further ado, RNG Sports versus Zenith. Game 1 of this best of 2. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm really actually pumped to watch these teams. I haven't watched Orange live in a while, and Zenith as well. Similar to you, I haven't actually caught one of their games in quite a bit, so I'm a little less sure how Group B is going to go. Group A looked a little bit easier to pick, but after everything was all said and done, the standings were all over the place, so I can't wait to see what happens in Group B. I think it could also just kind of go crazy as well.
Yeah, we'll see RNG Sports. They go for the Visage here now. Extinct, I believe, is 13-1 or 12-1 on this hero, something
Wow.
like that. And it's been given away by Zenith. Zenith is a team who's not afraid to give you your favorite heroes. If they have a strategy in mind, they'll often do very clowny, even ridiculous drafts, but there's always a method to their madness. This game looking pretty standard. We'll see the Darks here, Gyro. Big AoE team fight.
Yep. Vacuum is obviously going to be great. Call down oftentimes is a little bit less appreciated for its AoE, but it is extremely capable for that. But other than that, seen an OD ban actually a little surprising. It's a hero that I don't see many other teams other than like what is their name? Oh, Quantic. That's right. Now Quantic pick OD a lot, but apparently Orange. Did they ever work that into their drafts?
The OD, we've seen RNG Sports. Mushi's taken it mid. He's been an absolute beast on this hero. I think he's 7-1 on OD all time, and even the game he lost, I'm pretty sure he was kicking a lot of ass and taking names. So not really surprised to see the ban. It's like Blitz was saying yesterday, barely anyone beats this hero mid. It's very hard to deal with OD 1v1. That's where you need to roam, you need to gank, and well, if you're doing that, it frees up the other heroes on the team to get a lot of farm and experience.
Yeah, definitely one of those heroes that's just simply not fun to play against, honestly. There's very few heroes in Dota that are like that, but OD is definitely one of them. So Luna's going to be the carry pickup for Orange here. So they have a Luna hard carry, Sand King, possibly support, and Visage as well, actually. So they pretty much got their tri-lane already set up here. So that's going to make counter banning a little bit easier, but luckily for them, most of the banning has gone through. There's only one ban left over for Zenith here, and they're going to be picking their next hero up in just a second.
Yeah, let's see what they go for. I mean, you look at this draft, RNG Sports go back for the Luna. It's something that they were running a lot when Mushi was on the one position, but we haven't seen it lately. It's not a hero I've seen KYXY playing. I'm sure he's capable of it, but not really the strongest 1v1 hero. Does pretty well against Darkseer. If you pull a regen, you can get early Tranquil Boots, and it's hard for him to actually drive you out of lane. She can last hit well under tower. We'll see if they go aggressive tri-lane. Sand King Visage. Orange has been favoring the aggressive tri-lanes. Windrunner is often the farmer. We've seen Ohio playing some sensational Windrunner as of late, but it gets banned out here.
Yeah, always fun to see shackle shots happen. And Luna really was kind of a dominant carry at points in time where people just want to do really early pushes. Once you get Eclipse up, your solo kill potential is actually pretty huge. And Zenith is not currently working with any kind of summons or illusions. Well, they'll have illusions with Darkseer, I guess. That could eat Eclipses pretty well, but as a whole, Luna is just really, really great for lane control, great damage output. She's actually a great carry against Darkseer because she has so much base damage that she can deny the creeps pretty easily, and all around just really solid carry. So fun to see Luna be squeezed in occasionally rather than just always like Gyrocopter Alchemist.
I love this Earthshaker pick for Zenith. That is, you do not want a 5-man against this. Fissure, call down, vacuum, wall. How do you win that fight? I mean, seriously. You just cannot fight 5v5 against that.
You could get a huge advantage before they get to team fight, and then, but that's oftentimes easier said than done. But if you can actually get a big lane advantage and then get more EXP and gold than your opponents, then pushing is less scary, especially before Earthshaker gets a Blink Dagger. When he gets a Blink Dagger, or if Darkseer can actually vacuum the or people onto the Earthshaker, then things get really, really scary at that point. So they're going to have to be careful in the team fight, that's for sure.
And Orange go for a Nature's Prophet here. Now, we've seen them play this two main ways. One is Mushi solo mid, which is very unusual for anyone to run a Prophet mid. We do see it on occasion. He'll get a bottle, he'll teleport to control the runes, and he'll gank a lot early. Gets a quick level 6 off of it. The other way is the Sacrificial Lamb Ohio style, where he goes off lane solo, they run a defensive tri-lane, and he just uses treants to constantly block the pull camps. He'll put a treant at the Magic Bush, he'll put another treant in the third camp, and basically block all 3 Radiant camps that are sort of west of the small camp, west of the middle lane, or east rather.
That's really cool.
Directions are difficult.
We saw LGDN doing the same thing.
I need a compass.
Not exactly the same, of course, but Brax is doing a lot of offlane solo last night with Nature's Prophet. Be able to pull treants and force pretty good solo EXP on him, and then he could actually globally TP and go for ganks and things like that, which is really effective. So.
And I said, for XY, I took a little bit of a liberty with this card. I put 3 Tinkers. No surprises here. It's not banned. They'll pick that up. So we'll most likely see the XY solo mid Tinker. They have another Tinker player. It is X Freedom, but he almost always plays the 4 position for this particular team. So, well, you look at Zenith. Dare I say it, this lineup is looking cheesy. It's just such a good defensive lineup, such a good stall the game lineup, and if it goes late enough, I think Orange is going to have a lot of trouble winning this game at the 40-50 minute mark, unless they're very far ahead.
Yeah, on the bright side, Sand King is a pretty good teamfight support, so once he grabs a Blink Dagger of his own, he's equivalent to Earthshaker in a lot of ways. He can do a ton of AoE magic damage, so they will have some options in the late game. Visage is okay in the late game as well for AoE stuns, but Luna can also farm really fast as well, so it's not like Gyrocopter's necessarily like a beast farming master in front of what Luna can do. So, and Nature's Prophet, same situation. If they do go late, they can at least pressure all the lanes using Nature Prophet ultimate as well as doing split pushing. So I think both teams do have some tactics that they can abuse here, but I just right off the bat hate any team that picks Tinker, because March of the Machines is like one of the most annoying skills to watch.
Zenith should be ashamed of themselves, but they have no shame. Ice has proven that to us many a time. So
Sure, he's not even wearing pants right now.
Yeah, he'll go for the Tinker here, no surprise. Hopefully he's at least wearing boxers for his team's sake. But Beastmaster, the final pick for RNG Sports, that'll be, I guess, I'm feeling like an off-lane Beastmaster, a solo mid-prophet. It
Really?
could be a Mushi Beastmaster, but I don't know that I've ever seen him play the hero.
Well,
And it's not, you know, we've talked a lot about this in the past, Purge, is Mushi just doesn't seem as comfortable on those sort of melee ganker, you know, team fight controllers. He seems much better on the snowball heroes, the Queen of Pain, the Templar Assassin, the OD heroes like that. When you put him on a Beastmaster, a Magnus, well, it can be dicey, but they'll actually give him the Luna. So
Wow.
maybe we'll see the roles switch up a bit this game.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's going to be a Luna. We can see Lunas played in the mid lane sometimes, but I don't really expect that to be the case here, especially because Prophet and Beastmaster, neither one's going to fit into a tri-lane. So I'm guessing somebody else is just going to go mid because he doesn't want to play Beastmaster and or Nature's Prophet. So.
Yeah, again, I kind of like this because I think Mushi is more comfortable on heroes like who benefit a lot from farm. Beastmaster does, but you have to prioritize ganking and map control first. The farm comes as a result of that. You don't sit in AFK farm for the entire game. So Zenith, they'll go back for a final pick, Chen, and that completes their draft. Oh boy, this is a very strong defensive lineup, and obviously the offensive power will be there later on, but my goodness, with the Chen pick, this is very greedy. I mean, they have an Earthshaker 5 position hero who really wants a Blink Dagger if the game goes later, and you look at the rest of their draft, Tinker needs a lot of levels in farm.
Yep.
Same for the Gyro. The Darkseer will find it, but Zenith do not want to fight too much early.
Yep, they definitely don't want to. But they can actually take towers pretty easily using Chen. They have pushing possible if needed, especially if it's an off-lane Nature's Prophet or even Beastmaster. They can pull the creeps past, but they can't really kill the creeps very fast, is the only problem.
Ice taking some liberties here and assigning warnings to the teams. Oh, you troll. I love this. I love Ice.
Yeah, if you guys don't understand why we're making fun of him, he is seriously like one of the weirdest guys, but very funny guy. A lot of talk, as Blitz said, but he can definitely back it up. This guy is so good at Dota. One of the best in the world, probably. I think he used to be one of the best Han players.
In terms of
correct?
just his raw mechanics, I think he's pretty unparalleled. I don't think I could point a player and say that guy has better mechanics than Ice.
Yeah, he's pretty sick. And my pants.
His
joke
decision
before-
making.
Yeah, man. He doesn't like playing Dota with pants on. I wasn't kidding. Like, at TI2, he would I remember they were about to play a match, and the group stage was at the Valve offices, and he came out of the room that their team was playing. He came to the kitchen where all the food was, and he grabbed a drink out of the refrigerator in his boxers. So he walked out of the building, or out of the room, came all the way to the kitchen where everybody was, just to grab a drink.
You know, in some
won't go
states
back
that
in.
might be illegal, Kevin.
It was pretty close.
It's a lot of skin to
I would
show.
be scared of something slipping out, you know?
Well,
Definitely
enough
a lot
of the entendres here. We'll move along and introduce our teams. On the side of the Radiant, we have Team Zenith, your mostly Singaporean squad. They used to be all Singaporean. They do now have 2 Malaysians mixing things up for them. Ice. He's your captain. He's your leader for the squad. He'll be playing the Darkseer XY on his signature Tinker. Ice going to be handling the Earthshaker X Freedom on the Chen. And last but not least, we have NWP, but better known to folks and fans around the world as Yamate.
All right, cool. So that's the Radiant Team Zenith. For the Dire Team Orange, we've got Neo SX is going to be playing Visage. Mushi is going to be on